Wagwan, what's great? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome and thank you very much for stopping by. My name is Chef Adrian Morris and you're watching Morris Time Cooking.
We know about sardine, mackerel, chicken neck, chicken back. Nothing I waste, nothing I dash way.
Good morning, people. We are gonna make gungo rice and peas today. So let us get right into it. We're gonna look for any stone in there, cause you know sometimes you cook peas and you have little find something cracking in your mouth, so we don't want that in our rice and peas.
Okay, so you search first to see if there's any imperfections, stones or anything like that.
Right. Because if we wash it and put it in there, that's see if any dirt in the bottom.
Okay, so you're gonna pressure this now.
We're going to put it in a small amount of water.
So you just fill it with enough water to cover it about a half an inch above.
To boil up.
So in total, we have about 2 cups of water to 1 pound of the gungo peas.
Okay, so we're gonna add the garlic to the pressure cooker. Add salt to the peas. 1.5 teaspoon. We're gonna light our stove now and put it to boil. Cover it. Let it boil up and then you're gonna sink it with some cold water. Yeah, the reason you put salt in it because you want the rice and peas to taste it. So if you don't cook the peas with salt or the gungo, you're not gonna have that flavor.
Nice.
So we're gonna prepare our coconut now.
And we're using, this is the authentic rice and gungo using fresh coconut from the husk.
We'll catch the water now if we had to the gungo. Okay, I have to put enough water because sometimes the gungo them hard, tough, hard to cook. So it come to a boil now.
And you realize the grains of the gungo peas are floating, so that's why we're gonna add that cold water to sink them right to the bottom.
So watch until it sinks, people.
Just like that. Yes.
So everything is ever put a little bit more.
Yes, so if you didn't do that now, what would
you not go cook.
Some of the grains would not be cooked. We have about 5 cups of water in total.
Yes, so we're gonna cover it now and leave it to pressure.
How long?
I don't know how hard the gungo is.
So we're gonna pressure it for about 20 to 25 minutes, give and take.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
And in the meantime, we're gonna work on that coconut.
Wow, this is lovely.
No coconut, man. I have to shake them before I buy them. I say if it sound like it don't, that's the thing, when I'm testing coconut, I like to shake them. If you don't shake them, if you shake them and it sound like you don't have a lot of water, you know, chances are they're going bad. So we use one of those dinner knife so it doesn't cut you.
Right.
I'll just remove that from the husk. Nice.
Right, we're going to wash the coconut now. After washing the coconut, then we're going to cut it up. So we're washing the coconut the second time now. Yeah, we're gonna cut up the coconut now. Then next to the blender.
So we have 2 cups of water to the blender. Just gonna add the chopped coconut chunks.
So I'm gonna strain the coconut. Gonna get out the milk. Milk is so rich.
And you realize we grate it, we blend it until it's
fine.
Nice and fine.
Everything blend out over. We're gonna juice it out. Wow, this come out so fine. You can put a little bit of the trash in the
I like that.
Put a little bit more of the trash when you're cooking the rice. It tastes nice.
Yeah, man, that's something like it too, you know. So back with the flakes in the blender. We're going to give it a second blend with a little bit of water, not a lot.
I'll cook fast.
So this is the second blend. Not as rich, but we're still getting a bit of that milk.
Pour this in the rice pot. Can't make it burn with some rice.
This is about 3 cups of milk, and this is about 4 cups of water here.
So we're gonna put
So we're gonna go in half the amount. Alright? Okay.
No, we need all light because it will need all light.
Okay. So we'll just let this cook down to an extent, right? So by the time it's supposed to cook down, the peas, the gungo peas will be infused with the coconut milk, and then we'll be left back with about 5 cups of water.
You can cover the whole light because it will boil over the custard that will waste.
So we don't cover it fully because we don't want the coconut milk to boil over on the stove. So just half mass the pot and cook that. Once it comes to a boil, we're going to let it cook for about 10 to 15 minutes to properly infuse all of that coconut milk into the peas.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna add our butter to our gungo. Okay. So we're gonna add 1 green pepper.
We have 3 stalks of scallion and 1 stalk of fresh thyme wash.
So we're gonna beat up the scallion with the thyme. I'm gonna add this to the pot now. Teaspoon of brown sugar. This is to make the rice and peas flavory. Tastes real good. We're gonna allow the season to cook down a little bit more, then we can add our rice to it.
Okay. So far we pressured the gungo peas for about 25 minutes, and then we add in the coconut milk for another 10 minutes once it came to a boil. Now we're gonna leave these in for 5 more minutes to just get the seasoning infused into that liquid, and then we're gonna wash that rice and add it right in.
And put it on a low heat because we don't want the water to dry out.
Then we're gonna work on the rice.
We don't want to add any more water to spoil the flavor, so we have to turn it down on a low heat to get that season set in there.
Oh gosh, man. No more water, I gotta fresh up your stuff, eh?
So here we're gonna prepare our rice.
That's 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups, 4 cups of rice, and we're using the long grain white rice.
So we're gonna pick our rice now, see if any trash in there.
So mommy like to search it for any casings from the rice, those little brown shells, because you know that can be very irritating when you're eating your rice, right? So we just kind of scoop through. I mean, it won't be perfect with it, but just kind of scan through to see if you find any traces of the brown casing. And that's one right there, out.
We're gonna wash it.
So wash that to get off the excess starch.
Yes. Because if you don't wash it properly, it will sticky. You're not gonna get that shelly.
Too much starch will make your rice become very sticky. So remove those little things.
Okay, so we're gonna let her show off this rice water.
So yes, you want it for your water to run a bit clear. Someone commented on our last rice video and said that they normally let this run under a strainer, but in Jamaica, especially for us, I'm not speaking for all Jamaicans, we don't have water to waste. So we have to just fill it up, wash, pour it off, and then get water again. Water commissioner that really come through it. Nice. So we need a third wash because you realize it's still somewhat cloudy. So we're gonna go in for a third wash. Yeah, the more you wash that starch out, the shellier the rice becomes. Too much starch will result in sticky rice, and we're not making sushi. We're making Jamaican rice and gungo peas. Coconut infused liquid on the stove is ready to go.
Ooh. Here we go. So we're gonna get a liquor stir. Wow, this is so rich.
So once you can see the rice, when you put it in the center like that, then you know your rice is going to come out proper.
Yes. You're not really putting it in the center now. You notice before we put it in the center, I ground with the rice.
Okay.
So by the lot, so you see, if the water if the water cover the rice, you're going to get a soft rice.
Okay. So she basically fill the base of the pot and then she add the rest in the middle.
Yes.
And now she's saying, okay, she have the perfect amount of water.
Yes, this is perfect.
And you do not add water in the rice at this point because that will change the taste of the rice drastically. Any water you need to add it before the rice is added to the pot.
Yes, add in the peas, water if you not as
just
much.
Cook down with a nice coconut milk, all of the salt, the butter, the little bit of sugar, the fresh herbs and the scotch bonnet pepper. So how I test my rice, for those out there who may not understand Mommy's Jamaican term, you see that first line on your finger? Water is not so hot. I like to tip it. Once I feel the rice like this, I stop. That's perfect. That's an inch, right? If you don't want to do that because it's too hot, as I said, my hand is clean, you can use a fork. If you have a wooden spoon, you can do that, or use a regular spoon. Once you feel the rice, you stop. I feel the rice, and there, that's another inch. So that's how I test. Once the water is an inch or half inch above the rice, that's perfect amount of water. So what we're gonna do now? We're gonna cover this up.
Yes.
And cook for how long?
Until it dry, you turn it down.
Okay,
and
so
add a plastic with our file paper. You can damp the file paper or the plastic.
This would normally take about 5 to 8 minutes to come to a boil. And once that comes to a boil, it's gonna take you another 10 minutes before all the water evaporates. But you don't wait until it's fully evaporated. Once you see like tiny little bubbles, then that's when you turn on your stove from the medium heat that it is right now to low, and we're going to show you what that looks like in about 20 minutes time. And over here we have some curry turkey neck, aka ghetto curry goat.
Okay people, so the rice dry now, so we're gonna turn down that flame, turn it down. So
you bring it down to very, very low heat.
So you're gonna wash this rice bag, this plastic bag.
So this is the same bag that rice comes in. We're gonna wash it, you know what I'm saying?
So you're gonna make a little water stay on it because the rice, you can't put a dry plastic bag over it. So this is what you do with a little water settle on the top.
Nice.
That will help steam the rice.
Nice. So now we're going to put that on very low heat and steam for about the next 20 minutes.
15.
And 15 minutes? Okay. Mommy said 15 and she had to do the cooking, you know.
So we're going to cover it.
You have a little bit of water settling, shake the pot. A little bit of water is on the back, that's what you want.
Yes.
Nice and hot.
So that's how we're going to steam. That is what's going to steam the rice. We're going to cover it now. Okay, we're going to put it on a low heat. So people, we're gonna check our rice now.
Steamer fly.
Wow.
Oh lad.
Gonna remove all those.
Oh my days.
Wow.
Yes, no matter. I eat that.
You don't want to eat and have these thyme stick and scallion.
Realize you don't chop. Normally when I'm making this, I just chop up my skin and everything. Only the time I remove on the scotch bonnet. You just like to get the flavor and remove it, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's where me and you differ with the rice. With the rice, we just chop up everything and make them boil out in the water. So when you stick the fork in the middle like that, what are you doing?
Because you try to feel if the rice is sticking at the bottom. Because you don't want your rice burn.
Okay, nice and fluffy. And then we're gonna show them that rice hack.
So when it's sticking at the bottom now, after me stir it now, I'm gonna lock it off and put it in the water.
In the sink.
Yes.
Yes, looking good, looking right.
Yes, people. So this is the rice and gungo. You don't want tasty.
That's another word for you wish you could taste it.
Yes.
When we Jamaicans say don't want to taste it, you know, that means you really want to taste it.
So we're gonna lock off our flame now.
Nice.
And then we're gonna
put that in the water.
Put it in the water
for about 3 minutes, yeah. Just so it bright.
Or we can leave it on the stove for about 5 minutes to get a heat off of the
So the heat from the
yes,
the grill.
to bring out the custard.
Okay, so the heat from the grill. Turn it off. Let the heat from the grill just get that rice nice and sheen.
Before we put it in the water.
Yes.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Good to go. You don't need a lot of water, just so the base of the pot can rest in there.
Right.
So it's like that. Realize we don't do it too high because you don't want the water to go in the rice, just the bottom of the pot. And mommy just bring it up on the side a little bit. Be careful with the hot pot now. But yeah.
And be careful the water
going in the pot, yeah.
So you're gonna make it sit there for a while.
Right, just about 2 minutes. And trust me, this way, mommy do this all the time and the rice does not stick. Try this out, if it works for you. Comment below and let us know if it did. But may I tell you, nothing nasty. It's a good look.
Wagwan. What's cooking in the kitchen today? We are cooking curry turkey neck today. We do the brown stew one already, so we are going to do the curry one.
So right here we have 3 pounds of turkey neck, and mom is going to show us how to do this, the curry style. We did the brown stew, so go and check that out. Almost at 100,000 views in less than 2 days. So get that nice to clean up, trim off all the excess skin from off of there. So when you take off these things now, ensure that it's not chewy. You need something to taste properly, not just you want a nice bite and you don't feel anything chewy. You have to spend a little bit of time to make sure that you clean this up properly. I've never seen anyone clean up turkey neck the way you do. When you clean up your turkey neck, it's well clean.
Yes,
and this is just a wire. Show them the wire first, mommy. This is just a wire that mommy uses. It's like one of those metal wires she used to clean out the marrow of the turkey neck.
You can just use a close rock, the iron part, just stick it off, and you don't have to bend it, but this is not a closed one.
Okay. And that metal just goes right through and remove all of the gunk, or if you want to say the bone marrow.
Right in this hole.
Take away. Slow down.
Yes.
Don't move the hand. Push. And you clean that right. So look at that. Nice. Clean up proper. Yes, man.
Okay, we're gonna pour the vinegar and the turkey neck now.
And we added a bit before this, but we just didn't caught that on camera.
Yes.
So wash that with the vinegar, and now you're gonna give it a second wash.
Second wash now.
You realize the meat went from looking red to a more so opaque look, so it's like a halal now. All that blood has been washed out nice and fresh with the vinegar.
We're gonna put some all-purpose seasoning, not plenty because you know it's salt.
So you use about 1.5 tablespoons.
And we're gonna use some Maggi.
So you use 2 different type of all-purpose seasoning, I realize. One of them give you color, but both flavor.
Right.
So in total you use about 3.5 tablespoons of all-purpose seasoning. Next up we're gonna go in with the curry powder.
Right, we're gonna put some of the curry on the meat, and then we're gonna burn some in the oil.
Okay, nice.
We're gonna wash the scotch bonnet pepper, 2 cloves of garlic, and a small onion. Alright, we're gonna cut You notice that this pepper very big, so you can't put all of it in there.
So you don't put the seeds, right?
Seed
Just the
make it
fruit
too
of
hot.
the Scotch bonnet pepper to give you that flavor. A little bit of spice, but mostly flavor. We don't use the seed in this one because we don't want it to be too overly hot. Yeah. And you have a small white onion.
So we're gonna cut up the garlic after we
So that's 3 pegs of garlic or 3 garlic cloves.
I should use a glove. You can't use a glove because we stain your finger the curry.
Whatever word you like, you're comfortable with. Get a curry goat or poor man's curry goat. Anyone you want to name it. But if you cannot afford mutton, as mommy call it, or curry goat, then you know this is a great alternative. Use a curry turkey neck. And I'm telling you, kitchen is smelling good. Everything is looking good.
Set the pot for the turkey neck. So when we have to wait till the pot get hot, then we put the oil in there. Alright, so we're gonna add the oil in there now.
So about 2 tablespoons.
Yes, so I'm gonna add my curry to the oil now.
We're gonna put a teaspoon of curry in that hot oil to burn. And when we say burn, we're not talking about getting black. Just wanted to get that nice dark rich color.
Yes, yeah. Like this.
And this curry looks red on the camera, but I guarantee it's not. It's a nice pretty yellow.
So we're gonna add our turkey neck now.
Okay.
Wow, this is lovely.
So we're just searing this off in that curry.
Yes. Just look at this lovely gravy and it don't make us yet. Wow. Yes, so we're gonna cover it with this and let it simmer down a little bit before we add water to it.
So the condensation from the pot will just allow this to make a nice gravy before we even go ahead and add water in here. So we'll just cover that with the regular pot cover first. Once that's spring enough water, then we're gonna add some more water in, close that down, and then we're just gonna pressure cook it to speed up the cooking process.
We're gonna add water to this mixture now. Some people use hot water, but in that I'm gonna pressure it, I don't have to use hot water. If I wasn't gonna pressure it, I would use the boiling water.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of persons would like to know how they get out that curry stain from this white bowl. We're gonna show you in a bit. Mommy is pour out this, you know. How much water you have this, you know? That looks like about a cup and a quarter. But just know you need enough water to cover the meat pieces. At least ½ inch above the meat pieces.
So you're gonna stick this aside now and sort out our kitchen.
Wash up dishes and all these things.
Yeah, time to add the water. Wow, people, look at this. You see what we were talking about?
Just produce its own water.
You can't just put in the meat in the pot and you just throw water on it. No. You're gonna get that rawness and it's not gonna taste proper.
That curry is so pretty.
Yes, so we're gonna add our seasoning water to it now with our leftover onion. We're not gonna add the thyme in there yet.
Nice.
Yes, so we're gonna allow this to pressure for about 10 minutes. We don't want more than 10 minutes here.
Okay.
Because we're gonna add our seasoning after. I don't want it to get soft out. Wow, look at that.
Yes, the meat is not too soft. Because you want it to keep that form, you know.
Yes. So you notice me use bread, and the reason why I use the bread because I don't want the bread already cooked, baked. So
you're making your own breadcrumbs.
yes, so we're gonna make the gravy now.
And as we said before, we don't have any
Irish
carrot
potato.
or Irish potato. Hence, we would add that in here. You know what I say? So you can add some Irish potato,
Carrot, and
yeah.
some more onion.
Yeah, but
sweet
right now we
pepper.
don't have that, so we're just gonna leave it.
So we're gonna
at
put
that.
just the onion and the sweet pepper. We're gonna add to it.
Yes. You have it in there?
Yeah.
It's stingy.
So I'm gonna put the sweet pepper. Because you know sweet pepper now have to cook.
We don't cook that for long. We said before, at this point you can add in your potato and your carrot and then cook it for the next 10 minutes or until your potatoes are nice and tender. Tablespoon and a half of butter. Add a little bit of hot water. Just to top up that gravy because mommy know me love my gravy, you know. Yeah, nothing too much because you don't want to taint the flavor. And that butter is melting beautifully. Yeah. And remember, you don't cook this too much. You cook that in the pressure cooker for about 15 minutes so it's nice and firm still and holds its shape. And then you take that out, turn on back your stove, add in your potatoes and cook that until tender for about 5 to 10 minutes. You know what I say? And as well as your carrot. But right now, just the sweet pepper, that butter, the fresh thyme, and we're good to go. That curry, they smell good and it looks even better. And I'm pretty sure it tastes as well. The breadcrumbs will just thick up that nicely, as well as if you had that Irish potato.
One thing I have left to put in there, and it's a little bit of the big green black pepper.
Yes, no man, me and you cook it same. Listen, no man, little black pepper in the thing in the curry.
You don't put nothing there.
You put the cracked black pepper. Okay.
Yes.
Hey, that just elevate the flavor to a whole new level. Trust me. You know that sell off this a little bit more. A little bit of coconut.
Coconut milk?
Yes, you know like coconut in your curry?
But we don't have no.
So that's something you can do as well. You can add a little bit of coconut milk to this and trust me, it's a done deal. But everything good and curry down, pun intended, you see me? Yeah. 5 minutes or until the gravy is nice and thick.
This is our slicing tomato, but we're not gonna slice it, we're gonna cut it like this. Alright, we're gonna put this aside now.
Just a simple salad. You know, I said tomato and lettuce, nothing too fancy today. Yeah. Already have all that good flavor from the rice and you know, I said the curry and a bag of thing. A little bit of vinegar on there. Okay. A little bit of salt over that. Yep.
So the salt, people, and the vinegar is to take off the rawness off of the vegetable. Because you know sometimes you buy the greens in the market or the supermarket, them raw. So the vinegar is to take away the rawness and the salt is to take away the insect. If any insect in there.
Insect, there we go.
Alright,
Up
so.
and running.
Can you ever buy food at some restaurant and smell it? The rawness on the vegetable?
Yeah. Because remember, you know, a lot of hands touch them up on them stuff there and then you wash it properly. You're gonna get that smell.
Rawness.
Yeah.
We no deal with.
That's the worst thing for eat food and you have a odor
We no deal with them
the
up
food
there.
odor, you know?
Yes. So our food have to clean.
Clean thing. Yeah man, clean thing. Every subscription to the channel, every merchandise that you purchase will help to go towards that restaurant one day.
I keep my children in father for 20 a year and it's dead part of because of cleanness.
Yeah man. You hear that part there? So for the young girl who want their mommy say, daddy did it in her life for 20 odd years and it's did their part. You know what I say? And our cleanliness to that. So And your good cooking skills too.
Yes.
Dirty romance.
Wow, that is not on camera.
Not back. if my daddy did
He was a good man. He was a very caring man.
Yeah, just let you right there say my daddy did anything like me. There's no saying thing shot.
All me I do. Big up to all the good father them.
Yeah man, see you know. Yeah. See now big up. I'm a good father.
Me said big up to all the good father them. All of my children them are good father.
You know, I can't toot my own hand, you know.
Sure.
Sure, that's so sure at that.
Me say she is a good father.
Yeah man, see you know. Alright, back to the lettuce now. Any talk like this, I'm going to go on Morris Time family. Go on.
Alright, you must see me dish now.
This is mommy dish where she just do curry now. You can't believe and come and do vegetable. Because it's nice and
yes. That's how we do our thing around here.
Mommy, no use cutting board, you know. Listen.
So.
You can't have a chef in your kitchen and not use cutting board, lady. Well, you see, to me understand, say, you're away, I'm going to give you a pass. But if I go in any other person kitchen and them not professional and I use their hand with the knife, it's going to be a problem.
Yes, what this is a home
style business. You know what I say? Mommy just been doing
sometimes you can't bother if you go grab no.
Cutting board and sit.
Cutting board is here, everything is here.
You have a cutting board, you know, but she just not using. No, no, she buy.
So we're gonna dice them here a little bit more.
Just tomato and some we call it iceberg lettuce. And we use half head of iceberg lettuce. How many tomatoes? One big tomato?
One big table tomato. Yes.
We're gonna show them a nice salad. But we're not gonna tell you what that salad is. So look out, subscribe, stay tuned, and it'll forward. That's basically it. Just a nice little quick light raw salad. You know what I say? But the technique here was to how we keep it nice and fresh. I had to turn on the camera for this one. I'm just coming from the gym. I'm not in my best attire, and I'm telling you, I had to taste it so you know, so I don't know game. This Gungo and rice, bad. I stopped on the street and got the fresh coconut, you know. Listen to me. This turkey neck come like a curry goat. Me I eat, you know. And I can just pull through the bone because you see how well she cleaned that bone. Alright man. Bad you bad, mommy. Bad you bad. Turkey you bad. To all my existing and new subscribers, I just want to give you a heads up that I do have a family channel called Morris Time Family. So if that's something you're interested in, head on over there, hit subscribe and see that video when I surprise my mom.